And welcome, race fans, to KMA edition of Monday Mania. We're at the famed Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're waiting for the field to do their qualifying and finish up. Some facts about Atlanta Motor Speedway, formerly known as Atlanta International Raceway, the 1.5-mile oval racetrack, located in Hampton, Georgia, United States, of course, about 20 miles south of Atlanta. Been hosting stock car races since its inauguration in 1960. So there's a little bit of information about Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're going to be waiting here for our drivers to complete their qualifying runs. While we do that, I'd like to give a special shout out to tonight's sponsor, W Graphics, for his contribution to AMA Racing. Also like to give a special thank you to PAD. Very important cause there, PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. So tonight we'll be in the Xfinity cars here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Expect the cars to run somewhere between probably 30 to 35 laps on a field run. We'll be running 100 laps tonight. We were scheduled to run Daytona this week, but due to the holiday weekend, we figured that a good majority of the racers may be involved in family events and decided to take a break from Daytona. And this week is a non-points week, so all these guys are just out here running for the fun of it and I guess the glory of it if they happen to pull off a win. Give a big shout out there to the people watching on KMA TV. I'll be monitoring the KMA TV chat throughout the evening. And hey, Gary, uh, taking any questions and any commentary or criticism that you guys might have for me. This is my second night broadcasting, so see if it goes any better than it did the first night. Still waiting on those qualifying results to come in. Once again, we are at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is a 1.5-mile track. Track temperature is 75.7. Air temp's a little bit cooler. It's about 65 degrees, so the track temperature is on the rise. Should make for some interesting racing. Like qualifying is finishing up. Field is starting to set. To be having some minor difficulties again with my qualifying order. Looks like Edward Bray has taken the pole. I apologize, that is correct. I apologize. Not sure why my qualifying order is incorrect here. I think Jay Green is going to be our top qualifier.
Green flag.
Well, we're under green, folks. I apologize, having some severe difficulties with cameras tonight. I don't know why it's not updating properly. It is now updating, and we've got Jody Green out in front. Followed by the number 16 and the number 88.
Gonna be caution.
Looks like we're already under caution. If we can get that caution up. Like the number 31 and the 5 get together. Back that up one more time here. Change views. Looks like the 5 may have just barely gotten into the back. the 31, and then the number 91 might have gotten into the back of the number 5. Heartbreak there, folks. Don't want to see that on the first lap, that's for sure. See Gary Whitmer Jr. going into the pits. Probably gonna see if he can get some of that damage repaired. Hopefully he won't have to use his reset. As we see, Gary Whitmer Jr. has completed the service on his car and he's pulling back out onto the track. Hopefully that doesn't have too much damage there. Back up front, we've got Jody Green leading. While wanting a caution here, I'd like to give a big shout out to our Monday night sponsor, GW Graphics. Appreciate his support, keeping this series going. If we dial up grab Paul Pellizier here and bring him up. Paul Pellizier, you got a copy?
The only one they had was Kentucky. Ronald?
Yes, sir. This is Ron Klein up in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
Early caution there. Didn't expect to see a caution so early. It looked like you might have gotten involved in that. What was your take there?
Oh man, I just got a black flag for some reason. Anyways, yeah, I let off trying to save the right front, and I got a little push in the back. No damage, no harm, no foul.
Well, that's good news. That's very good news. Like to see it when you guys can stay out there and be competitive. How's the car feeling so far?
Not so good.
Can you explain on that?
Yeah, the set's just a little off, but we'll tweak it each pit stop.
Alrighty, sir. Well, I'm going to let you go before you guys go back to green flag race, and good luck. Looks like we're going to go
Green
back
flag.
green. Hop back up to our leader here. Jody Green is out front still with the number 16 of Tommy Ryan right behind him, and the number 88 of Matt Cook in third. Drivers starting to get spread out. That should make for some good green flag racing if they can stay off of each other. Number 17 looks like he's starting to pull away just a little bit. Jody Green, not a name I'm very familiar with. He must be a newer addition to KMA. Or I should say maybe a newer member to KMA. I myself am a newer member to KMA. We've only been in KMA for about 6 months. It looks like we may have had a spinner. Caught just a little bit of that on camera, not sure. Looks like we're going to stay green though. Get a chance, we'll go back and take a look at that, but right now probably not a good time to take you away from the action we got going on up front. Start taking you back through the field. Got Jody Green leading. Matt Cook has taken over second place, starting to chase down Jody Green. Got Tommy Wren in third, who's being chased very closely by the number 22 of Mark Allen. In fifth place, we have Wesley Whitfield, and then number 71. Andrew Schulte in number 8. I believe he won last week. Jack Watts is in 7th. Andrew Williams is 8th. 23 of Chris Foyles is in 9th. And Wally Tierheimer is rounding out your top 10. In 11th, we have Edward Bray. Estelle Fields in 12th. Tight battle going on there for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Chris Hogue is currently 21st, pulling into pit row, it looks like. Well, we have another car. It looks like the 24 may be pulling in as well. Well, looks like Caleb Patry is now pulling down. Like he's going to go into pit row. Unscheduled pit stops here early on lap 12. Back to Steele Fields in 12th. He still has not managed to get by Edward Bray or Wally Tierheimer. Looks like Chris Hogue is back out on track and has merged with traffic. Keep going back through the field. Back in 13th, you've got Donald Stewart. Behind him, you've got Maurice Johnson. Garrett Potts is in 15th, and there's your top 15, folks. 16th is Gary Whitmer Jr. Joel Guy running in 17th position currently. Danny Rudy 18th. Mark Amtower in 19th. And Matt Cook has overtaken Jody Green for the top spot. Looks like we missed that one. Oh, and we've got a wreck. As we've got the cameras pointed in that direction, we've got a wreck. We'll see if they keep it going. If they don't, we will have to back those cameras up and see exactly what had happened. Matt Cook is definitely pulling away from Jody Green at this time. It looked like, my apologies, Jody Green is no longer in second place. It is Mark Allen who is closing the gap on Matt Cook. Cook. Oh, we've got a caution flag. See if we can dial that up on the camera here and see what caused that caution. Not going to be able to get that one up on replay, folks. I apologize. We're watching Garrett Potts, who's currently in 16th position. Gary Whitmer currently in 15th position. Go back up front here and see. Showing Matt Cook is still our leader, followed by Mark Allen. Matt Cook's going to bring it into pit row. Going to get service on that number 88. Looks like he's getting right side tires. And taking left side tires. And away he goes. Looks like he'll come out first. Good looking paint scheme. WCIparts.com. See if we can get our leader to visit with us. Looks like we're having some, not we, but looks like Mac's having some radio difficulties. We'll not be able to get a chance to visit with him. See if we can get a talking with Andrew Schulte real quick. Andrew Schulte, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir? Looks like a couple of cautions already. How's your night going?
Can't complain. We're in the top 5 here now. It's hopefully gonna end up well. Still trying to figure out the setup, how to drive it, how not to scrub the right front, because during practice I was doing that a lot. So hopefully we can make a couple adjustments during the race, get the setup squared away, and come up with a decent finish.
Roger that. We're not getting to see all of the wrecks because we actually haven't had a caution every time someone spun. We've been seeing a lot of spinning out, especially coming off of 2. What's your take on that?
I definitely had issues with that during practice. The first couple times I came out, I got loose out of 2 or spun out of 2. And it's really just if you come off too hot and you putting more wheel in it to try and turn it, the back end's just going to come around every time. So I think that's one big issue that everyone's going to have to try and figure out how to do or get a better exit so that they don't end up doing that or getting loose. But it should be a good race for 1/5 of the way through, and hopefully we can have some long green flag runs here.
Copy that. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Looks like you're climbing forward, and I'm gonna let you get back to racing. Looks like you guys are going back to racing. Lights are out on the pace car, so good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And that was Andrew Schulte, currently running in 4th position. Go back up front and watch our leader here, Matt Cook. See if we can get a different vantage point to the restart here. Watch these drivers take the green flag and go through 1 and 2. Pace cars off.
Ready, green flag.
Green flag is out, and away we go. The 88 jumps out to a slight advantage there. See the 88 followed by the 71. Looks like possibly Jack Watson third. Jack Watts doing a great job coming up into third position. Wesley Whitfield in the number 71, trying to chase down Matt Cook currently. Gonna keep going back through the field here. As I said, Jack Watts in third place. Mark Allen in fourth position. Must have gotten around Andrew there on the restart. Andrew Schulte. Andrew Williams. Chris Boyles. Wally Tierheimer. Edward Bray looking strong. Got a good run going into 3. Backs it down a little bit. Like he'll have a good run coming off of 4. Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart's one of those guys who's always very patient in the beginning, and always end up seeing him up there towards the end. So see how that plays out. See if that's part of his strategy here. Maurice Johnson in the 322. Far down to the inside, but didn't catch the number on that. If I had to guess, it might have been the 77. The Steel Fields, currently 12th. Tommy Ryan, 1 lap down. Jody Green, 2 laps down. Gary Whitmer on the lead lap in 13th. Mark Amtower, 1 lap down in 18th, and brushes the wall as we have the camera on him. Paul Pellizier, currently 21st, 12 laps down. Joel Guy, 13th. Chris Hogue, currently 20th, 4 laps down. Danny Rudy going 14th as he gets high coming out of 2 and almost scrapes the wall. Back to our leader. Matt Cook still leads. Matt Cook has led 18 laps. Got a fast lap of 28.408. Being stalked by the number 22 of Mark Allen. Mark Allen trying to close the gap here and see what he can do with the 88 if he can get to him. Field's really starting to get strung out now. And I was incorrect earlier when I spoke that it may have been the 77, because there is the 77 in third spot as we have a lead change The number 22 has overtaken the 88 car and is trying to run away. Go back and see how some of these other drivers back in the pack are faring. See what Edward Bray is up to. Edward Bray is in the middle of Hornet's Nest. Edward Bray currently running 8, 6 seconds behind the leader. Running right behind Wally Tierheimer. Donald Stewart hot on his heels. Remember, folks, the number 16 of Mark Amtower is 1 lap down, as well as the number 17. Edward Bray fighting hard to get inside of Wally Tierheimer. Donald Stewart trying to fight around the outside. Looks like Edward may clear Wally here on the backstretch, and does. Some good tight racing here. Donald Stewart trying to make his way under Wally. Looks like he will make that pass as well. Like maybe Wally Tierheimer's car might be falling off, or he may be saving a little bit right now. I'm gonna jump around the field here and check in with some other drivers. Take a look at what Joel Guy's up to. Joel Guy kind of running by himself.
Caution.
Oh, got a caution.
Boss, you're doing a good job. You want to give us an update on that car?
Looks like the number 40 of Garrett Potts gets loose, had it saved, loses it, slides back up the track and brings the caution out. Sure, he'll get into the pits and get that repaired. The Garrett Potts bringing out our third caution flag of the evening. Garrett Potts headed down pit row for some repairs. Head back out to our leaders and see what they're gonna do. And it looks like leaders are gonna hit pit row, so let's jump down with the leader and see what his pit strategy looks like. Good looking paint job on the number 22 of Mark Allen. There goes right side tires. Left side tires. Out of pit road he goes. While we've got a moment, we'll grab our good friend Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart, it's Ron Klein. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Ronald. I got you. How you doing tonight, bud?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Bring you up here. Sorry, I didn't get my cameras on you before I grabbed you. Like you're currently sitting in 8th place. So, is it strategy? Is this typical Donald Stewart strategy? Are you just being easy with the car and slowly and methodically working your way up, or or is the car just not what you want it to be?
It's not really what I want it to be, but I've been working on it, getting a little better. Last pit stop it was a little bit better, but I'm just trying to, be easy and try to save my stuff, not get no wrecks, wreck my car, and just see what I can get.
Taking a walk around the red and white number 78, got Boston Red Sox all over it. Tell us about the paint job, sir.
Yeah, it was done by Over the Top Paint and Design by John Hendrick, in memory of my father. He was a big Boston Red Sox fan, and since this is baseball season, I put it on all my vehicles in honor of him.
All right, well, it's a great looking paint job. Doing a great job. Currently in 8th. Hopefully, pit strategy will help you out, and your patience will come to fruition.
Yeah, me and Ed were gonna work together here and just be patient. We got a long way to go. We still got 60 laps to go, so we got a long way to go. We'll just be patient and see what we can get.
Alrighty, sounds good, sir. Take care and good luck.
Thank you, sir. You have a good time up there.
Thanks, you too. All right. Donald Stewart sounds like he's a man on a mission. Jump up and take a look at Edward Bray, the man Donald Stewart was talking about during his interview. Said he was working with him. They're just trying to be patient and work their way slowly up through the field. Edward Bray, a member of KMA Racing, but sub-team Black Talon Racing, his partner or teammate, Lee Staples, doesn't seem to be out here tonight. Like the lights on the pace car are off, and we're going to be going back green flag racing, so we're going to jump back up the leader, Mark Allen. Give you a little different vantage point again as we take this green flag.
Green flag. All
Pace
go.
car's in, green flag's out, and the 22 is away. It's a very nice jump. Like the 22 out in front, the number 8 of Andrew Schulte in second, and Jack Watts in third. Swing the cameras around. Drivers each have their own unique line driving around this 1.5 mile speedway, reaching speeds in excess of 190 miles an hour. As we see Mark Allen going down the backstretch, he's up to 194, 195, 196, so about 196 miles an hour. We are on lap 41 of 100. Only had 2 lead changes, 3 cautions for 10 laps. Like Jack Watts is gonna wanna look like he was gonna wanna give Matt Cook a run for his money. Matt Cook working his way back up to second place. Take you through the field again. As I mentioned, Matt Cook in second place, Andrew Schulte in third place, Andrew Williams in fourth, Chris Voiles in fifth, Edward Bray sixth, Maurice Johnson in seventh, Donald Stewart holding steady in eighth, Steele Fields in ninth, Wally Tierheimer sits 10th. Tommy Ryan is 11th. Gary Whitmer Jr. top 15, sitting in 12th. Jody Green is 13th. Wesley Whitfield is currently 2 laps down in 17th. Paul Pellizzeri 11 laps down in 20th. Joel Guy still on the lead lap, currently 14th. Doing a great job of driving that car. Chris Hogue is currently 19th, 5 laps down to the leader. Danny Rudy staying on the lead lap, rounding out the top 15, doing a wonderful job. Mark Amtower still sits on the lead lap in 16th position, 11 seconds behind the leader. Now the leaders are setting lap times, as we mentioned earlier, in the 28-second bracket. His last lap was a 28.77. So if you're Mr. Rudy, jump back to Mr. Rudy and see what his lap times look like. His last lap time was a 29.704, so he's just a little bit off the pace. Maybe that car not working exactly like he'd want it to. If we get a chance, maybe we'll get him up here for an interview and talk to him about how his car is driving for him. Take you back up front again, make sure we don't miss anything important. Take you to that blimp view where we can pan out a little bit and see the cars. You can see first and second has really started to pull away. I'd like to thank everybody out there watching tonight. This is the KMA Monday Mania. So as I mentioned earlier, this is, the holiday weekend being the 4th of July coming tomorrow. We will not be racing tomorrow, but we will be racing Wednesday night. Not quite sure if that's going to be broadcasted or not, but I've heard we're going to Sonoma, so that should be interesting. Then we will be back broadcasting Thursday night at Daytona. And then Friday night be at Homestead, Miami. Saturday night we'll be back in Talladega. And Sunday we will be doing the pad race. So quite a full week of racing, even though it's a holiday week. Like Mark Allen is starting to stretch out his lead over Matt Cook by just over 1 second. Our race summary currently, as I said, Mark Allen is leading. Got 53 laps of 100 complete. Only been 2 lead changes. Only had 3 cautions for 10 laps. Current running order, you got Mark Allen in first, Mark Cook in second, Williams in third, Schulten fourth, Brace seventh. Oh, there we go. We had a little, just had a little change of placement of cars on the track there. Mr. Boyle's in fifth, Fields in sixth, Bray seventh, Ryan eighth, Stewart in ninth, Johnson in 10th, Earheimer 11th, Whitmer in 12th, Guy in 13th, Green 14th, Rudy 15th, Amtower 16th, Whitfield 2 laps down, Hogue 4 laps down, Paul Pelzier 11 laps down, and it looks like Mr. Watts must have had a failure and taken it to Dodge. Garrett Potts must have had a similar issue and taken it to the trailer, and Mr. Petrie as well. Mark Allen still out front, not really driving away from the 88. The 88 still clinging on, 1.1 seconds back. Check in with our KMA TV chat here. Good thing I did, I guess. I did turn it on, Scott, in case you are watching. A lot of things going on broadcasting, folks. Sometimes you miss little things. Got KMA's owner, Scott Kolovic, must be out there checking on how the broadcast is going. He's giving me tips on the KMA TV chat, and I do appreciate that. Like I said, a lot of things going on. Sometimes you get a little flustered, but trying to make sure that we put on a good broadcast for y'all. Matt Cook slowly starting to reel the leader back in. He's knocked off just about a 1/10 of a second. And it looks like the battle for third and fourth may be heating up. Andrew Schulten fourth. Andrew Williams in third. Looked like they're trying to chase down Matt Cook. Go back through the field a little further. Got to steal Fields in fifth. Edward Bray in sixth. Tommy Ryan in seventh. Donald Stewart right behind him in eighth position. Tommy Ryan solidly running in seventh position, 4.3 seconds back from the leader. Donald Stewart still sits in that eighth position, 5.1 seconds back from the leader. go ahead and take a ride inside with Mr. Donald Stewart around this 1.5 mile track. As we enter turn 1, going through turn 2, you can hear him playing with that throttle. Going down the back stretch, we're going to hit 190. Well, not at this point. May not hit quite 190 miles an hour, but very close to it. Like we may have some green flag pit stops happening, or someone may have had to pit out of sequence there. Still riding with Donald Stewart going into 3. Coming through 4, you'll notice that he's feathering that throttle. Someone there just wanted to pit and might have been coming in a little bit of hot there. I saw some smoke coming off those tires. That actually moves Mr. Stewart up to 7th. Does look like we must be doing some green flag pit stops, and we are gonna probably ride along with Donald Stewart. We are riding along with Donald Stewart as he makes a green flag pit stop. Pit road speed 45 miles an hour. He brings it to a stop. Right side goes up, getting right side tires. Left side up, getting left side tires, and away we go. Donald Stewart with his service complete, exiting pit row. He's going to try to get it up to speed. He's got to stay below that white line. Trying to get up to speed, get as much speed as he can without actually spinning that car out. Quite difficult actually to carry that much speed without spinning it out. Donald Stewart with his pitting done currently sits in 13th position. Joel Guy currently 7th. Wondering if maybe he has made his pit stop yet or not. Joel Guy driving the number 91 City Chevrolet Camaro, which is actually pretty funny because we didn't have a race last night, so I decided, you know, I'm gonna watch a movie. So I sat down and I was going through Netflix or Amazon or whatever it was, and saw Days of Thunder pop up, and I decided, you know what, I haven't seen that movie in a while, and I'm gonna watch that. So I sat back and watched Days of Thunder last night. So every time I see this car here that Joel drives, just reminds me of Full Trickle in the Days of Thunder. Great movie. Let's keep moving forward and see who's doing what on the track. Mark Amtower, currently 15th, three laps behind the leader. The 322, oh great, we just happened to catch him coming in for his pit stop. Johnson Racing Paints and the 322 of Maurice Johnson. Looks like most of these drivers are taking 4 tires. And he has completed his service and is exiting pit row as we speak. Watch him come up to speed as he exits pit row. Careful not to cross that white line. Must merge on the back stretch. Wally Tierheimer goes by him on the outside. Merging up onto the backstretch. Getting up to speed. This is when the drivers will be the fastest. Just after their pit stops, they've got fresh tires and they'll go about as hard as they can. See Maurice Johnson being stalked by the number 71. Apparently some of these drivers still have yet to make their pit stops. I'm gonna try to go and see if I can find another driver who has not yet made a pit stop. I believe Edward Bray has yet to make his pit stop. Take a look at that great paint job while we wait and see if we can catch him coming on to pit row. Joel Guy must have pitted. Looks like he's coming back up on track. He'll be merging with traffic. As you can see on the side of the car there, AMA Racing. Edward is proudly displaying that on his car. And just under that you'll see the Reaper. Edward's nickname, the Reaper. You can also see it on the trunk lid there as well. If you look just closely enough, you can see the Grim Reaper between the KMA and the racing on the side there. Great looking paint job. Paint job was done by Gearhead Paint Shop. Ted Emmenizer. Still waiting to see if Edward Bray is going to make a pit stop here. I do believe he is due for a pit stop. Some of these drivers may be staying out in hopes of catching a caution and trapping some of these cars that pitted a lap down. This may be the lap when Edward Bray pits, and I believe it is. We're gonna hop inside with Edward Bray as he follows what looks to be the 88 car in front of him. Edward Bray coming to a stop. Getting right side tires. Left side tires, and he is out and away. Doesn't look like anyone else is on pit lane at this time. Go back and pick up the leader. Oh, we've got smoke. There's smoke, there may be fire. Looks like the number 22 is currently... Oh, I apologize. Oh, there it goes. Had to update. Yep. The number 16 is your current leader. Tommy Ryan with Andrew Schulte right on his tail, running just under a half a second back. Andrew Schulte still just under a half a second back, trying to chase down Tommy Ryan. And go back through the field here again with some of these pit strategies starting to play out. Andrew Schulte in second place. Gary Whitmer Jr. is currently 13th, 1 lap down to the leader. The Steel Fields making a move to his inside. Chris Hogue currently 18th, 7 laps down to the leader. Donald Stewart currently 4th, 10.5 seconds back from the leader. Maurice Johnson in 5th, currently 14.5 seconds back from the leader. Andrew Williams currently 6th, 14.5 seconds back from the leader, so they're starting to make time on the leader. Mark Allen, who's led 38 laps, 14.3 seconds back from the leader, so while I'm talking, these guys are all making time up on the leader. We've spoken about Maurice Johnson already. Wally Tierheimer is currently 8th, 15.4 seconds back from the leader. Wesley Whitfield is currently in 16th, 3 laps down to the leader. Chris Voiles, 9th, 18.4 seconds back from the leader. Mac Cook, currently 10th. Ooh, some tight racing right there with Chris Voiles. That was close. Matt Cook will currently be 9th now.
Caution's out.
Oh, we've got a caution. See if we can pull that up. Watching the number 18 of Danny Rudy goes up and gets into the wall. Not quite sure. Looks like it may have been in front of the 18 car. We can back that up once again. Looks like the number 24 car of Mark Amtower must have gotten into a little bit of trouble there. See if we can back that up. See what happened. Might have got a little help there. I'm not positive. Might have gotten a little bit of help. Looked like there might have been just a little bit of contact there. Not positive. Looks like there may have been. Tough break for Mr. Amtower. Like he's currently sitting on pit row getting some repair done. I would assume that all of our leaders are pitting or will be pitting. Currently showing our leader is Andrew Williams. We are on lap 92 of 100. We only have 8 laps to go. Our current running order: Andrew Williams, Tommy Ryan, Andrew Schulte, Estelle Fields, M. Johnson, M. Allen, Donald Stewart 7th, Wally Tierheimer 8th, M. Cook in 9th, Chris Foyles in 10th, Edward Bray 11th, Jay Green 12th, Gary Whitmer Jr. 13th, Joel Guy 16th, Danny Rudy. Something's changing here. Not quite sure why that's doing that, but currently showing Joel Guy 16th in front of Danny Rudy and W. Whitfield. Chris Hogue still out there being a trooper, 7 laps down. Mark Amtower, who we just saw have issues, look like Joel Guy is getting a lap back as he passes the leader on the high side. Paul Pellizier, quite the trooper as well, hanging out there 11 laps down in 19th position. Everyone else has taken it to the garage. Looks like the pace car is off and we're back to green flag racing. Andrew Williams gets a nice jump. Andrew Schulte on the inside trying to make it interesting here. Andrew Schulte in second place. Estelle Fields pulling down underneath the number 16, trying to take that third position away. '16 starting to fight back hard. Tommy Ryan does not want to give it up. Andrew Schulte doesn't want to give it up either. We see Donald Stewart starting to creep into the picture back there in 5th. Ooh, Andrew Schulte gets loose on the backstretch, keeps it straight and keeps it green. Oh, look like the 22 and the 78 were going to get together there. '78 is pulled up right behind Andrew Schulte. Wants to make a run on the inside. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Go back up and watch our. Oh, there's a change for the lead here. Tommy Ryan is wanting to get that first spot from Andrew Williams. We are on lap 97 of 100. Tommy Ryan pulling away from Andrew Williams and Estelle Fields. Some great action here in the last few laps Does anybody have anything for Tommy Ryan? That is the question. The number 22's gotten to the back of the number 8 of Andrew Schulte and making a run to the inside. Estelle Fields making a run to the inside of the number 4. Gets down on the apron, gets loose, washes up the racetrack. We stay green, and Tommy Ryan is still out there in front. Andrew Williams is trying desperately to catch him. This is the final lap. The number 4 had gotten a good run through 1 and 2. We'll see if he's got anything for him. We see some smoke in the background. Hopefully that won't bring the caution out. Oh, and we've got a spinner. See if that brings the caution out. I don't believe it will since we're coming to the flag. Oh, there goes another one. And the number 16 of Tommy Ryan is your winner, followed by the number 4 of Andrew Williams. We'll get those results up here in just a minute as everybody gets straightened out. Bring the running order up. It looks to me like Tommy Ryan will be your winner. Williams second and Andrew Schultz third. Followed by Jay Green, Still Fields, Mark Allen. All right, let's see if we can get some interviews here. Andrew Schultz, this is Ron Klein. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you made it. You made it further up into the top 5 since the last time that I was talking to you. Finishing third. Tell me how your night was.
Well, first I want to apologize to the 22. I did not mean to get into him there, and unfortunately took away his podium spot. So I wanted to apologize to him first. But yeah, it was. I think we would have had a good. I think we would have had a second or a first had the caution not come out around lap 88 or 90, whatever that was. Me and I forgot who that was, but we had the biggest gap on the whole field because we had short pitted. It looked like we split that last run in half. We think we pitted around lap 40, and then we pitted at or around lap 70, so we split that right in half, whereas it looked like the other leaders had stayed out and ran their car dry out of fuel, and that whole time we were able to create that gap between us. So I think if it would have stayed green, we would have had a good shot at the win, but we definitely didn't have the fastest car. Those that finished ahead of us and even some that behind us were definitely the class of the field. We didn't have anything for them on the short run, but we were a little bit better on the long run, but we're happy to take home third.
Well, you put on a heck of a show. I saw a lot of good racing there. There was some really tight racing in the last couple laps. As you mentioned, there's so much contact on that last lap and so much going on. I really couldn't tell you who did what, but some great racing out there. Put on a great show for the fans. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my teammates over at Bandit Motorsports, Chris Foyles and Wally Tierheimer. I know they had a pretty decent runs tonight. Shout out to you guys for putting on these races and these leagues for us. Like KMA is the best places to come and race at. You guys always have good races and always run things very strict and don't deal with any BS. So I'll thank you guys for that, and hopefully you guys have KMA for a while because it was a good place to run.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm sure Scott will too. I'm sure he'll watch the broadcast. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be here tonight, but stepped in for him, and hopefully the broadcast turned out well. Glad you guys had a good time tonight. Congratulations on a third place finish, and hope to see you Wednesday or Thursday.
All right, thank you, sir, and to everyone out there, have a happy 4th of July, and enjoy it.
Same to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, and second place I got Andrew Williams here. Andrew, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about your night, sir.
Yeah, it was pretty boring at the start of it. Probably qualified, I think around 11th. We went out there and ran our race setup in qualifying, just to try and see what was going on with the car. But it was a decent car, race car anyway. As the race went on in the first stint, we noticed the car was starting to come to the track a lot better as soon as the tires started to go off and all the rest. We did some style strategies. Got to thank the guys from Southeast Motorsport for giving us a great car tonight, and working with Jack Watts there. Unfortunately, he wrecked out, but it was a good car on the long haul. On the short run, I didn't have the confidence underneath me. I thought I was going to spin out off the corner, like what happened in practice there. But all in all, it was a good car. Had some good races with a bunch of guys. I haven't been racing much recently for quite a while. I normally sit up in the tower there and spot for one of the boys from Southeast Motorsports. And anyway, tonight I said, mate, where are you? He's not coming. I thought, you know what? I'm going to throw the car in there and see if we can have a run. Expecting to run at the back, but I had all my setup notes here from when I spot for him and everything like that. So I ran the car reasonably dry towards the end. And I decided to pit with 20 laps to go to give myself a good run home. And everything was looking good until we got the caution. As soon as that threw out the wood in the work, it sort of changed that whole strategy around. But what we did, we just came down. I just looked for my notes. I knew with less than, I think, what did we have, 10 laps to go, 2 right side tyres and no gas. And yeah, it was a good car. Just hats off to Tommy. I tried my best. I just couldn't get him. Well done to Andrew behind me. I had a good battle with him earlier on. We actually had some good battles tonight, me and him. So yeah, it was a fantastic race. And I didn't expect to be here. So.
Well, you certainly put on a good show. We had our cameras on you and many of the others throughout the night. Did notice that you were moving up through the field very well. Talk to me about Lowe's and Southeast Motorsports.
Well, okay, this car was produced to me from the boys there, and they put Lowe's on the truck or on the car. Sorry, because I'm not sure if you know my son, but he used to be a legend car racer here in Australia on the dirt scene, and massive Jimmy Johnson fan. So we had the same car as Jimmy Johnson. So everyone sort of put me with that. So that's how I got the Lowe's there. My boy's now running wingless sprints. Going to step up in the sprints as well this season coming. So that's going to be pretty fantastic for him. But Southeast Motorsports, bunch of guys, met these guys back when we were hanging around with All Pro Racing, All Pro Broadcasting. Hung with them for a bit, and then yeah, just Michael Jeans, Nick Reynolds, Mitchell Reeves, Jeff T. Martin, great bunch of guys. Wesley was in the race tonight. He got unfortunate. Just a great bunch of guys. And as I said, normally I run the spotter stand for them. I don't consider myself to be a racer anymore. More of a someone to talk to, and if they want to tell me what the car's doing, I'm trying to offer suggestions on sets. But yeah, as I said, I just pulled out my notebook and I thought, all right, here we are. B car at Atlanta. What should I be looking for? And wow.
Well, you did a fantastic job from my perspective. I want to thank you for coming out and racing with us tonight. I know it's a holiday weekend, so that's a huge deal. We had a pretty big field. I didn't actually expect it to be as big as it was. You guys put on a great show for us tonight, and I just want to thank you for that. And good luck in the future. And surprisingly enough, for all of our fans, to make sure that you guys heard that, he normally spots, not something that a lot of people can do, going from spotting to jumping down into the car and driving, and especially bringing it home in second place. So congratulations on a second place finish tonight, and thank you once again, sir.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate what you guys have done for us. Thank you.
No problem. Have a great night. Alrighty, fans. Unfortunately, I am unable to get Tommy Rhines on the radio. Looks like he's having radio difficulties, so we're gonna wrap it up from here. Great night of racing, Atlanta Motor Speedway. You never know what you're gonna get. Tonight was a pretty exciting race, especially towards the finish. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Congratulations to our top 3, and that does it for me. I hope you enjoy the race. We'll see you next time for KMA Racing and RTK Motorsports. Thank you and have a great night.